Hey everyone, day 28 of e-learning. We're in the double digits of May, which means we are under a month to go. So, gonna keep preaching. Finish strong, finish strong, finish strong. Even if you're behind, there's plenty of time for me to get you caught up, but you gotta work. You gotta work a little bit. All right, so here's a quote from today. It comes from an old dude. This is Jean Anselme Brillat Savarin. Don't even know if he pronounces his name that way, but he says, "Animals feed, man eats. Only a man of wit knows how to eat." And this is a pretty big statement. Basically, he's saying that we have the ability to use and judge and interpret food. We don't just chow. There's meaning behind food, and that's kind of what today is. So today marks the start of something kind of complex. So here's the deal. This is not I know we're still finishing something up in LA with the interview and the Pithy article, but we're introducing the FACS push in, which we're going to do this week. And the way we set it up, it's not a ton of work, but it has a ton of meaning. And so you'll see what I mean in a little bit. It's about turning that cultural meal journal that you did for me, or that you should have done for me, which was 15 minutes of work, into a video story. You also want to remind you that I'm assigning the final draft of the Pithy article. It means you write something, I give you some feedback, you change it, you have a perfect article, and it's due Sunday now, of this coming Sunday. So I feel like I'm giving you plenty of time. If you do ELA every day, you'll be fine. And I want an edited version. Never turn in anything that's not edited. I'm making it one of the grades. And honestly, some of you are so caught up that you'll have plenty of time to do even more, or not do school at all and still be doing just fine. So remind you about your interview. You have it. You should have it. If you don't, you're behind. And I can help you as much as I can help you, but you got to do the work on your own. So you have an interview with someone. It's recorded. You take 3 really good quotes from your interview and you put them into a pithy article about the origin of the person you interviewed, right? You should have interviewed someone. You should have found out how they got to be who they are. And then you take 3 quotes from that interview to really write an article about their origin. And pithy means short, right? So not super long. And I've given you all this already. This is sort of the form of your pithy article. You follow this formula, you got a solid paper, solid article, and these are the ways you're getting points. You will post to Schoology by Sunday, and these 3 points will be awarded you as on time. Everything else is the quality of the work you're doing. And again, I want to remind a lot of you that this should look like an article, so you should have a title. This part right here, don't worry about this because it'll be up here. Actually, it should be on the left side, where your name and your course and the date, that should be on the left. I screwed that up on the directions. That should be on the left, just so you know. But it should have a title, and it should have the article's main topic. The person should be an image, and it should be in the article. Look how it's right here. I'm able to do that with this little button right here. It says wrap text. So if I have this all written out here and I put this in here, if I put wrap text, then it'll wrap around like this. That's what I want. And lastly, this introduction. A lot of you are forgetting to introduce your person. You just jump into the interview. Who cares if you did an interview? That's not the importance of this. I want to know who this person is, and your interview revealed that through their quotes. So in your first intro paragraph, you should just give us some background on who this person is. What do they do? How old are they? What are they known for? If we don't have that and you start talking about an interview or you start quoting them, who cares? We need that intro background. Again, the final is due on Sunday in Schoology, so you have all week to do a final draft of a 3-paragraph article. If you still want feedback, I will give you feedback. I've given feedback to everyone that's shared with me. Otherwise, you're on your own. And use my examples like this and the assignment sheet that tells you what the requirements are. I guess you don't need my feedback, but you better use what I've given you. All right, let's talk about this. ELA meets FACS. This is a big deal. Here's how this is going to work. So first things first, the rest of the week, I'm basically going to have you go to the FACS Schoology page to start your day. That's the first thing. Find out what's going on there, what information you need from Ms. Godlinski. We're joint teaching this. The idea is you're going to make a video or a slideshow or just a presentation that we can watch that tells the story of some cultural meal in your culture. And in that case, you explain the background of this meal, share the recipe if there is one, or record the making and eating of the meal so we can see how it plays out. But there's a lot of freedom here to interpret this your own way. It just we want something of high quality, so we want some editing, not just a home movie that gets put slapped together at the last minute. We're not looking for that. Okay. Um, let's talk about the word culture for a second, though. A lot of you wrote about this in your journal. It's a really wide open word. And these are all things that culture can be related to. Look at all these possibilities, right? But it always relates to customs and traditions and norms of your people, however you define that. These are all examples of how culture exists in our home, and these are the ways that I would describe it. Here's what we normally think it is, and this is a mistake. We think culture is a flag representing some country and food that goes with it or customs that go with it. In my case, if you say culture, you might immediately think, oh, you have South Korea in your household and we have Ireland in your household, amongst other things. That's true, but it's so much more than that. It's all these things too. It can relate to family, race, wealth, sexual orientation, belief system, situations. We're in a quarantine right now. There's a culture that's developing in your household related to the quarantine. Ethnicity, gender, these are all things that are related to culture. And you can put that into your thoughts about what meal you're going to share if you would like. So here's what you have to do for today. Pretty simple. Number one, get started on FACS. Don't get behind on day one. Trust me, you're going to have a hard time getting back into it. The first thing you're going to do is join Mrs. Godlinski's course, and there's the access code right there. Okay? The Pithy article assignment, that is due on Sunday, so I'll walk you through that again. If you have your interview done, get to writing. If you have your first draft of the Pithy article done, let me know if you want feedback, and I'll give it to you. If you already have feedback from me, move to the final draft, and then submit to Schoology where it says final draft. And then those of you that have really stayed on top of this, and some of you can, just keep plugging away at missing work. The epic poem mainly is a big one if you haven't done that yet. So ultimately, that's the week, people. Again, fire away with questions. Just got a lot of balls in the air now, so some of you are getting a little confused, but hang in there. This is all supposed to be kind of fun. And look forward to watching me describe a very important meal in our household. All right. I look forward to hearing you, seeing you, and keeping the good ball rolling.